In the great outdoors, a camping trip is supposed to be a time for relaxation, bonding, and adventure. But for some, it turns into a nightmare from which there's no escape. Today, we're diving into 3 chilling unsolved mysteries where people vanished or met. Gruesome ends in the wilderness. These cases have baffled investigators for decades, leaving behind questions that haunt us to this day. Viewer discretion is advised. These stories involve disappearances, murders, and disturbing details. But before we go ahead, tell me where you're watching from in the comments. And tell me one of the mysteries you've heard about missing persons, murder or unsolved cases. Number 3. Christopher Temple. April 22, 1990, was a warm Earth day in Bath Township, Michigan, but as the sun set, temperatures plunged near freezing. 17-year-old Christopher Allen Temple from East Lansing had spent the day at an Earth Day celebration at Riverfront Park with friends. Later, he and 4 buddies headed to the Rose Lake Wildlife Research Area for an impromptu camping trip. They built a campfire, shared stories, and enjoyed the night. Around 9 p.m., Christopher stood up and walked into the surrounding woods, perhaps to relieve himself, or just stretch his legs. He never came back. It was as if the forest swallowed him whole. His friends searched frantically but found nothing. Police were called, and initial theories leaned toward an accident. Maybe he fell, hit his head, or succumbed to the cold. Or perhaps he ran away. But Christopher's life didn't fit that narrative. He was a straight-A student with perfect attendance, had switched to Okemos High School for smaller classes, and was just weeks from graduating. No family issues, no girlfriend troubles. He was excited about college and even had a job lined up. His parents and friends insisted he wouldn't bolt. The case went cold until about a year and a half later, when hunters stumbled upon one of Christopher's shoes roughly 300 yards from the campsite. It appeared weathered, as if it had been there since that night. This shifted suspicions to foul play. Maybe he was abducted or attacked, losing the shoe in a struggle. Police dug deeper. Christopher dabbled in selling small amounts of drugs, mostly marijuana, and had a habit of shorting customers. Could he have arranged a meet-up in the woods, or encountered a vengeful buyer stalking him? The area was popular, but no witnesses emerged. Searchers scoured the woods, including nearby swamps where a body might be hidden, but turned up nothing. Christopher was 5 feet 7 inches, 130 pounds, with brown hair and eyes, last seen in a faded jean jacket, a black t-shirt with a rock group design on it, and jeans. Age-progressed images show what he might look like today, around 51. Over 30 years later, his case remains unsolved, a stark reminder that even a quick walk in the woods can end in eternal mystery. Number 2. The Cowden Family. In White City, Oregon, the Cowden family, 26-year-old Richard, his 22-year-old wife Belinda, 5-year-old David, and 5-month-old Melissa were the picture of a happy, hard-working clan. Richard worked as a logging truck driver, and they lived modestly. For Labor Day weekend 1974, they camped in the Siskiyou Mountains near Copper, about 30 miles from home in the Applegate Valley. On September 1, 1974, around 9 a.m., Richard and David drove to a nearby store for milk. That was the last time anyone saw them alive. When they didn't return home, the family alerted police. The campsite was eerily undisturbed. Belinda's purse and Richard's wallet sat in plain sight. Their dog Droopy was tied up, and supplies were untouched. No signs of struggle. Massive searches ensued, making headlines across North America. Over 150 people were interviewed, including a nearby motorcycle gang and a witness who saw a black man in overalls near the site. 8 months later, on April 12, 1975, hunters found the horrors. 7 miles away, Belinda and the children's remains were crammed into a small cave, all shot with a .22 caliber rifle. About 50 yards off, Richard's body was tied to a tree. Due to decomposition, his cause of death was unclear, but police believe he was killed there, helpless as his family was executed. He likely didn't fit in the cave. Suspects were cleared until focus fell on Dwayne Lee Little, then 25, a paroled killer living 18 miles away with his parents in Rouge. Little's history was chilling. At 15, in 1964, he fractured 16-year-old Orla Faye Phibbs' skull, slashed her throat, stabbed her, and raped her post-mortem near Cedar Flat. Charged at 16, sentenced to life at 17, he was paroled May 24, 1974, months before the murders. Witnesses placed him near the campsite. A couple saw his pickup with people and the Cowden's dog, another at a gas station by the bodies. Little owned a missing .22 rifle. He claimed he was in California, unverified. Offered a polygraph for parole violation jail time. For a concealed weapon, he chose jail, serving a year. In 1980, he kidnapped, raped, and stabbed a pregnant hitchhiker from Tigard. She survived, earning him 3 life terms with no parole recommendation. A former inmate claimed Little confessed. Little denied it until his death in 2012. The case remains unsolved, a tragic example of parole gone wrong. Number 1. The McAster Massacre. On January 14, 1989, in Benimaclet, Valencia, Spain, 14-year-old Francisco Valeriano Flores Sanchez, his 15-year-old girlfriend Rosario Isabel Gate Muedra, and their 15-year-old friend Maria Pilar Ruiz Barriga decided on a spontaneous camping trip. From humble, troubled families in Burjasot, the trio were known for experimenting with drugs like glue-sniffing, cocaine, rohypnol, and alcohol. They took a bus to Catadau, about 25 miles away, with a tent in hand. 6 days later, a shepherd in remote McAster checked his shed in the Cuerna area and found a broken lock. Inside, on a cot, lay a cold teenage girl, Rosario, dead from cardiac arrest. Her pants were undone, with semen traces inside, suggesting possible sexual activity or assault. No foul play signs at first. The civil guard theorized the cold drove them to the shed, where an overdose killed Rosario, and the others fled for help. But problems arose. The shed was 18 miles from Catadau, uphill and remote in the opposite direction from home. How did they find it? Toxicology showed no drugs. 3 months later, April 21st, Francisco's decomposed body was found face down on neighboring property, also cardiac arrest, with a Catadau bus ticket in his pocket. Evidence at the shed, traces of a 4th person and vehicle tire marks. The case exploded May 26 when Pilar's disfigured body surfaced beside a tourist river, 5.5 miles away, missing a hand and foot. Initially blamed on animals, but the next day, her hand appeared on a Valencia bench, 25 miles off. The day after, her foot was in a city garbage can. 2 labs confirmed chainsaw amputation near or after death. Theories: abduction by the 4th person? Murder-suicide? Links to the 1992 Alcácer case, similar teen girls, dismemberment? No arrests. The McAster Massacre baffles Spain 35 years on. If you made it this far, thanks so much for watching, and feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to read them. Subscribe and share the link to your friends. Thanks once again, and hopefully I will see you on the next one.